Did you know that you might be hurting your dog without even realizing it? You love your dog. There's no doubt about that. But some of the most normal things people do every single day can quietly damage a dog's trust, confidence, and emotional well-being in ways most owners never notice. And the worst part? Most people only realize it after the bond has already been affected. Let's start with the one that hurts them the most. 1. Yelling at them for being bad. Have you ever raised your voice at your dog after they chewed your shoes, jumped on the couch, or made a mess on the floor? Most of us have. In the moment, it feels like the right thing to do. You're frustrated, and you want them to understand they did something wrong. But here's what's actually happening inside your dog's mind when you yell. Dogs don't process punishment the way many people think they do. If the reaction comes even a few seconds after the behavior, they often don't connect your anger with what they did. Instead, they connect it with you. Research in canine behavior has shown that dogs exposed to frequent yelling or harsh reactions from their owners often develop increased anxiety and avoidance behavior. Instead of learning a lesson, they learn something very different. They learn that the person they trust the most can suddenly become unpredictable. And to a dog, unpredictable means unsafe. Over time, you might notice small changes. Your dog may hesitate before approaching you, lower their body when you walk into the room, avoid eye contact, or act nervous even when they haven't done anything wrong. Many owners interpret this as the dog being guilty, but in reality, it's often fear or confusion. And the sad part is that it usually looks like the dog is simply being distant or stubborn. So most owners never realize their reactions caused it. Now here's something most people don't think about. The impact of yelling doesn't just change behavior. It changes how safe your dog feels inside their own home. Later in this video, we'll talk about how the environment you create can either help your dog feel calm and secure or slowly increase their stress. But first, let's talk about another habit many owners have without even thinking about it. 2. Constantly hugging or restraining them. How many times a day do you hug your dog because they look adorable? They're lying there peacefully. You walk over, wrap your arms around them, squeeze them, and hold them close. To us, that feels like love. But for many dogs, it can feel very different. Dogs communicate comfort and trust through space, body language, and choice. When we suddenly grab or restrain them in a tight hug, we're taking away something very important to them: freedom to move. Studies observing dog body language during human hugs found that many dogs show clear stress signals when restrained this way, turning their head away, licking their lips, yawning, or stiffening their body. They're not necessarily enjoying it, they're simply tolerating it. And there's a big difference between those two things, because dogs love being near their humans. They crave connection, but they feel safest when that connection happens on their terms. Instead of grabbing them for affection, try something different. Sit down. Relax. Let them approach you. When a dog chooses to lean against you, place their head on your lap, or curl up next to you, that moment of trust is far deeper than anything that can be forced. And once you start noticing those moments, your bond with your dog becomes even stronger. And hey, if this video is already making you rethink a few things, hit like and subscribe so we can help more dog owners understand their pets better before these small mistakes turn into bigger problems. Now let's talk about something most owners never realize is affecting their dog every single day. 3. Where your dog's bed or safe space is. Have you ever thought about where your dog rests or sleeps in your home? Most people place a dog bed wherever it's convenient, near the front door, in a busy hallway, or right next to loud appliances like the washing machine. It seems harmless. But for a dog, the place where they rest is incredibly important. When a dog lies down to sleep or relax, they are entering one of their most vulnerable states. In the wild, animals only rest deeply when they feel safe from threats. That instinct still exists in domestic dogs. If their resting place is in a high-traffic area where people constantly walk by, doors slam, or loud noises suddenly happen, their brain stays on alert even while they're trying to relax. Over time, this can lead to subtle stress. You might notice your dog getting up frequently, struggling to settle down, or choosing to sleep somewhere else in the house instead of their bed. They're not being picky. They're looking for a place where they finally feel safe enough to relax. The ideal spot for a dog's bed is quiet, predictable, and slightly protected. Somewhere they can see their surroundings, but aren't constantly disturbed. A corner of the living room, a calm area of the bedroom, anywhere that gives them both security and visibility. When dogs have a safe place to truly relax, you'll often notice a big difference in their behavior. They become calmer, more confident, and much more comfortable in their environment. 4. Feeding them only dry food. Do you fill up your dog's bowl with dry kibble and call it a day? You're not alone. Most dog owners do exactly this because it's convenient, affordable, and it seems like it should be enough. But what if that everyday habit was quietly affecting your dog's health in ways you can't see yet? Here's something many people don't realize. Dogs, just like their wild ancestors, evolved eating food that naturally contained a lot more moisture than dry kibble. Fresh meat, organs, and prey animals contain around 60 to 75% water, while most dry dog food contains only about 10% moisture. That means when kibble is the only thing your dog eats, their body has to rely heavily on drinking water to make up the difference. Some dogs do this well, but many don't drink enough throughout the day. Over time, this can place extra strain on their kidneys and urinary system, especially as they get older. Veterinary nutrition studies have shown that diets with higher moisture content help support better hydration and urinary health in dogs, particularly for breeds that are prone to kidney or bladder issues. And here's what makes this tricky. Most of the time, you won't see the problem early. Dogs rarely show symptoms until something has been developing quietly for months or even years. They won't tell you they're thirsty. They won't complain that something feels off.
Explain this.
They'll just keep living their routine until the body finally starts showing signs. The good news is the solution is simple. Adding wet food, fresh food, or even warm water or bone broth to kibble can significantly increase the moisture in your dog's diet. Even one meal a day with higher moisture can make a noticeable difference over time. If you're looking for premium nutrition, Royal Canin is widely considered one of the most trusted brands for balanced veterinary diets. And if you want something more budget-friendly, Nulo is a strong option that still provides quality ingredients and hydration support. Your dog's body wasn't designed for dry food alone. Giving them a bit more natural moisture is one of the easiest ways to support their long-term health. 5. Playing with them using your hands. Be honest for a second. Have you ever waved your fingers in front of your dog's face just to get them excited? Maybe you wrestled with them using your hands when they were a puppy because it seemed cute and playful. A lot of people do this. But do you know what you might accidentally be teaching them? When you use your hands as toys, you're teaching your dog that human skin is part of the game. When they're tiny puppies, those little nips feel harmless. It might even seem funny. But fast forward a few months. Now that same dog is bigger, stronger, and suddenly they're grabbing hands during play, jumping toward arms, or play biting harder than they should. Not because they're aggressive, because you taught them that's how play works. Research in canine training and behavior consistently shows that puppies encouraged to mouth human hands during play are more likely to develop persistent mouthing habits later in life. And once that behavior becomes a habit, it can be surprisingly difficult to undo. Here's the part that often creates a bigger problem. When the dog starts biting too hard, owners usually stop playing entirely because they don't want to get hurt. So now the dog has learned two confusing things. Hands are toys, and suddenly playtime disappears. That combination often leads to frustration, pent-up energy, and even more rough behavior. The fix is incredibly simple. Use toys instead of your hands. A rope toy, tug toy, ball, or anything that keeps a little distance between your skin and their teeth. This way your dog still gets the fun, excitement, and energy release they crave, but they learn that toys are the target, not people. And the result is a dog that knows how to play with you safely and confidently. 6. Leaving them alone in a silent, empty home. What if the environment you created to keep your dog safe is actually making them unhappy? You keep your home clean, organized, quiet. Everything is calm and controlled. For us, that sounds perfect. But for many dogs, it can feel incredibly lonely. Dogs are highly social animals. Their brains evolved to spend most of the day moving, exploring, interacting with their pack, and responding to sounds and activity around them. So when a dog spends long hours in a quiet home with very little stimulation, their brain doesn't simply relax. It becomes understimulated, and an understimulated dog often becomes a stressed dog. Animal behavior research has shown that dogs living in environments with low mental and physical stimulation are more likely to develop issues like anxiety, destructive chewing, excessive barking, or withdrawal. These are the same behaviors many owners misinterpret as bad behavior. But often it's not a discipline problem, it's boredom. Think about it from your dog's perspective. Their entire world might consist of the same four walls, the same furniture, and the same routine every day. No new smells, no challenges, no problem solving.
Good doggy.
Just
Who's a
waiting.
good boy?
And when
Here you
dogs
go,
don't
you
have
can
healthy
have it.
ways to use their energy and intelligence, they create their own,
ท่านปานปัน
chewing furniture,
ท่าน
digging through trash, barking at every sound.
ท่านปานปันท่านปาน
Now here's the cycle that often
Yes,
forms.
who's the best doggy?
The dog acts out because
You're
they're
the
bored.
best doggy.
The owner gets frustrated and scolds them. Then the dog goes right back into the same unstimulating environment that caused the behavior in the first place. So the stress grows and the behavior repeats. The good news is, this is one of the most rewarding problems to fix. You don't need to turn your house into a dog park. Small changes can make a huge difference. Leave puzzle toys or treat dispensers when you go out. Rotate toys so they feel new again. Play calming background sounds or nature audio. Give them window access so they can watch the outside world. And most importantly, make sure they get daily walks and interactive play. Dogs don't just need food and shelter, they need a world that feels alive.